name is Taylor McCurdy, and I'll be hosting you for the next 45 minutes. If this is your first time joining us, a big welcome to all of you. This is a live and interactive show, and currently we are at one of the cameras that is situated in Kenya in an area called Oldonyo, which is basically sandwiched between Amboseli and Tsavo national parks. And here we have two beautiful elephant bulls, one that looks like it's ready to steal the water straight out of another's trunk. That's not really what's going on there. But I'm going to say a quick hello to those of you that have joined us already. We've got Bridget McKinney, hello. And then we've got Amber, who has said, thank you for today's show, and that you really look forward to all of these shows every single week, and that you're ready with some coffee. Zygote, hello, Zygote, namaste to you too. And then I'm just double checking. Oh no. Sorry, I'm just managed to scroll past a whole bunch of things. We've got Aussie Jan, who's also joined. Hello, Aussie Jan. We've got coffee today. Kaoru, you've got milk again. Rolling trouble. Not late, you're on time. You've also got coffee for the show. And April Owl, you said it's nice and sunny in Connecticut, and you're eagerly waiting for the show with your cherry. Just one cherry. I don't believe you can just eat one cherry. You have to eat the entire punnet. However, I don't think these elephants have ever had the opportunity to eat cherries, but they would probably agree with me and say that you absolutely need to eat all of them and only leave the stalks and the pips. Oh, we've got more people who have just joined us. We've got Jean Gale, you've said good morning, and trainer Matt51, you've said hello, hello, hello. We've got, what do you have? Toasted almond iced coffee. That's fancy. Really fancy. That's great. I'm currently drinking water. Yay. So much fun. Very unexciting. I had coffee this morning, but I'm only allowed to have really one cup of coffee a day. And then Mr. UAG, welcome aboard. You said you've got coffee and honey cake. You always have the best treats. I feel like every single time you tell us what you're drinking and eating, it's always something spectacular. I'm actually just going to start making it up. I'm actually drinking a caramel frappe latte with sprinkles from the moon. I have no idea, but does that sound cool? Hopefully it does. But I suppose the show's about wildlife, so let's get straight into it. We've got two beautiful bulls, and as most of you know, well, this area is well known for its elephants and, well, elephant sightings. Also, apologies, I'm sure you heard I'm going to have to go sit somewhere else. I'll be back. Sorry, everyone, for 2 seconds. My mother, who is working's phone is pinging. Let's see if I get signal here. I'm now marching, hoping that this is going to work. Here we go. The two beautiful big bulls, as I was saying. Just having a drink of water. No rush at all, though. They do like to spend a lot of time at the water hole. And I suppose with the rains that have finally stopped in East Africa, that there's not going to be as much water that has been around over the last couple of months, which is great for us that are watching these cameras because they're obviously based in very specific spots. And we rely on the dry seasons to come through to really encourage the animals to come down to the best points to drink. And, well, this is one of the best points. Jan Powers, you've said hello, hello. And you said that it's still really hot in Arizona. And bowl of kittens. You said you've got watermelon kombucha. Sounds rather refreshing. Also, just a couple of helmeted guinea fowls just running around. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. I saw them move behind the elephants, and I see they're trying to sneak in on the right-hand side. Will they be brave enough to share the space with the elephants? I suppose we'll have to wait and see. I don't know if anyone recognizes these two elephant bulls. Some of them have got, or people have given them names because they're just so iconic. And this area is famous, of course, for the great tuskers in East Africa, or specifically the Kenya area. And isn't it just amazing? Listening to the elephants drink. I love that sound of the water being slushed around and then slurped up through the trunk. And then, of course, you can hear all the bugs too, just buzzing about. There's that sound I was talking about. I'm surprised that the elephant on the right, if it already hasn't had a drink, is not trying to chase the individual off to the left out of the scene. They all fight over the little hole, the little pipe, sorry, where the water comes out, because this is a pumped pan. So that's what that elephant is doing, actually just taking it straight from the source before it gets tainted with that murky brown, terrible water. Well, I suppose it's not terrible because lots of animals drink it, but they don't really have another choice. Gosh, there's loads of guinea fowl around. Looks like the wattled starlings might be coming in too. Just saw them fly on the left-hand side of the screen. Dear NC, welcome, welcome. You've just joined us from Seattle, and you've only got water today. Let's see if he's going to sneak his trunk in. He desperately wants to. He's obviously splashed himself a little bit. You can see there's some water around his face. So I'm not sure if he maybe arrived earlier, had his drink, and then moved off to the side. And this other individual, they look kind of the same size. Even in terms of sort of tusk length, barring the fact that the one on the right has a broken tusk. No, he's not having any of it. He's off. Okay, bye. Enjoy your afternoon. Not so patient. Catherine, hello, hello. You said hello to me and Tucker. Tucker's outside. He's waiting to go for his walk, which we will go on soon. You're having mango coconut ice cream. Delicious. There we go. This is going to be great. I love this. So we've got the big elephant bull on the right-hand side. Look at how relaxed he is. It almost looks like he's about to have a siesta. His trunk has dropped low to the ground. In fact, most of it is actually resting on the ground. Barely moving his ears or his tail just when he needs to deter some insects. Doesn't look like it's that hot in Kenya today. I actually don't know what the temperature is. I thought the guinea fowl were going to come on in. I mean, there's so much space on the other side of the waterhole, and I really don't think that these two bulls, which are so placid, would really mind their presence at all. But anyways, okay, we're going to quickly pop across to South Africa and see what animals are around the waterholes. Aha, I think we're at the Nkoro camera now. There's the elephant bull, just a little distance away. This camera is just amazing, and at the moment in the afternoons there's so many elephants spending time in this area. It looks like it's picked up on the scent of something, kind of cautiously investigating. Its trunk on the ground, then picked it up. Very slow movements. I mean, it could be picking up on a scent of a number of different things. Could be other elephants, could be that a predator has moved by. Now he seems to have picked up the pace a little bit, so maybe not so much a threat. Maybe he is actually tracking a breeding herd of elephants, and that's why he's constantly putting his trunk on the ground, picking up those particles that have been left behind. There's such an interesting study that I read a little while ago, and I don't know why I haven't spoken about it much, but I suppose this is the right time to talk about it, seeing as though we're talking about chemicals and scents and that type of thing in the air. There was a phenomenal study that was done, and I'm sorry if some of you already know about this, but it was done in Kibali National Park, which is in Uganda, a great up-and-coming safari area. Not very many high-end camps, so if you are partial to drinking out of golden taps, and it's probably not the destination for you yet, but it's just a great place to go. The national parks, there's so much conservation work that's being done. You can see chimps and gorillas, and at a fraction of the price than what you can see gorillas in Rwanda, just FYI. And they did a study in this park where essentially they wanted to try and figure out how do we find out what animals are in this area without the tedious process that researchers normally go through. It might be people walking around looking for physical tracks on the ground, or signs that an animal has been there, maybe a tusk of an elephant scored against a tree, or claw marks from a leopard scratching up on a something. You can understand what I'm trying to get at. But they thought, what about the chemical particles that are in the air? How can we find them? Because camera traps, yes, they're amazing, they do great work in conjunction with teams on the ground or helicopters, whatever the case may be, but it takes forever, and so many animals are so scared. So what they started doing is they would take earbuds or cotton buds, and they would swipe vegetation with it. They'd spend a couple of minutes on each area per an earbud, and they'd wipe the leaves or the grass or the tree trunk or whatever they were looking at, and they were going to go and test it and see if they could find anything. But they were pretty much quite worried about it, because Kibali being not quite like a super dense forest environment, but it's humid, and these types of things can really, I suppose, deteriorate a DNA sample. So they didn't think it was really going to work, but they were pleasantly surprised it did work. A study that I had read, I need to please excuse me if I don't get the numbers right. It's hard to remember all these things. But they discovered on 24 earbuds, 50 different animal species. 24 earbuds in total. They got the DNA sequencing, the barcode, and they were able to pick up 50 different animal species made up of mammals, birds, and I think it was just one frog species that they were able to find. Isn't that incredible? So you can imagine some of those, I don't know how long the chemical particles would last, but it just goes to show that a scent left by elephants walking around, you're probably in these conditions that we have right now, which are quite temperate. It gets a little bit hot, but there's no rain, there's very little humidity, that they're going to last for a lot longer. So he might be able to follow the scent for a good while, and hopefully he'll pick up on them. But I haven't seen him, sniffing any fresh dung or potentially any urine. Obviously, it's a bit difficult to see that from here. He does stop regularly and sniff the ground. So it's going to be, I think that's a great move for conservation, going into these areas where there's maybe been a civil war that's just recently ended, or there's just a lot of conflicts of with whatever kind it may be, to be able to go in discreetly and do that testing, which doesn't take very long to do. And it might not be the most accurate way, but a good idea and understanding of what animals actually occur within that area. Come on, elephant, what are you going to do? Just very intrigued by scents. You see that? He literally put his trunk up on the tree. You can see there, just smelling the trunk of the tree. Are you going to eat something now? Is there a little vine perhaps growing behind the tree? Difficult to tell. No. Smelling. Oh, I would absolutely love for one, maybe not a day, maybe like 20 minutes to be able to smell like an elephant. Not, well, some days I do smell like an elephant, but smell what an elephant can smell. I'd need to choose very carefully the environment that I'm in, though. Definitely would not like to be in the gym if I got those superpowers. That wouldn't be a very pleasant experience. Ah, Casper's third ghost, you've just jumped on. Hello, hello, hello. You have got ginger lemon tea. Delicious. I say delicious. I'm talking nonsense. I don't like ginger. It's not my favorite thing in the whole wide world. I like pickled ginger though. And I like ginger in food, but not in a beverage. Not for me. You can see the wind is quite blustery today, although we are in the windy time of the year. At least we haven't just had full days of wind. It's kind of, if it's windy in the afternoon, then normally it's not so windy in the morning, or vice versa. Is there something in the water? Is that splashing that I can hear? Or is that just the wind? Maybe that was just a big gust of wind. Okay, from here, as this elephant disappears, let's go all the way to the east coast of South Africa. Aha! Who agrees with me? Does this camera have the most gorgeous view? Because I think it does. Also a bit windy at Tembe Elephant Park. Plenty of impala around with the water looking so crisp. Look at that. It's like an oasis. It doesn't seem real. If I came around the corner to something like this, especially if I was navigating through all the dead, no, I suppose it's not dead, it's just the top that's dead, the dry grass, I'd be pleasantly surprised to come around this. What have we got? We've got a grey heron, we've got yellow-billed storks, and what's the other one? A woolly-necked stork. Sorry, I couldn't see its head for a second. Quite a few different bird species, most of them just resting. It's too early to go to bed. There's a few of them standing up now. Perhaps they can hear me. Probably. They definitely can't hear me, though. It's a great area for birding. We often hear so many different bird species, too. It's always just tricky to catch them. Oh, there's an argument there amongst the storks. Have no idea what about, though. I'm wondering if I've ever told any of you the story about the masses of storks I once saw in Zambia. This is a very long time ago. This is like almost 10 years ago. I was doing my Zambian guide training, which was amazing. A lot more difficult than the South African guiding system, at least the initial part of the guiding qualifications. And we were on a walk, but we weren't actually in the park. We were in the game management area just outside the park. And walking was very new. Not many people were really doing it in that particular park. It's definitely progressed now. And while we were walking, we came across a pack of wild dogs, which was spectacular. It was the first time I ever heard a wild dog bark. And they sort of prairie dogged, and they bounced up and down, or meerkatted, whichever version you want. And were like looking at us, and then they kind of ran off. We didn't intentionally go looking for them. We just happened to bump into them. And then we walked through this dense vegetation, and we came out into this huge open clearing with just cropped grasses that I'm assuming the buffalo had probably cropped it nice and short, because there's huge herds of buffalo in that national park. And to my surprise, I don't even know. Oh, it's the heron doing all the chasing around. What's your problem? You don't really even like to eat insects, and that's what they're looking at. But anyways, so all of these yellow-billed storks, abdomen storks, there were also, and marabou storks. There were these giant armored ground crickets, and if you have the opportunity to Google one, please do. They're terrifying, but they were everywhere. There must have been an explosion in this particular population, and these birds had all come to this area and were feeding on it. I don't know how many hundreds of birds were there, but it was spectacular. It was honestly the last thing that I expected to see. Everyone was, kind of blown away by it too. It was obviously something that doesn't typically get seen very often, and to be quite fair, I've never seen it again. But that was really special to see so many different storks. So that's what those yellow-billed storks are doing now when they were pecking the ground. They, again, just like most birds, their diets are so varied. with that long beak, though, it can't be very easy to hunt insects. Maybe slow-moving insects. And then there's what's that? A hardy-dar ibis just on the left, coming in. Zygote, you've said that this particular camera, Tembe Elephant Park, has got the best audio. So you've said the bird calls are phenomenal. You love the bobo or boo-boo, and the green bulls, the crowned hornbills, and the gorgeous bush shrikes. Yeah, I've heard the gorgeous bush shrikes around here every now and then. Have I asked this question before? I've never been to this park before, but I'm wondering if the eastern nicoters occur here. I don't think that they do. But that's a really special bird too. But I'm wondering if it's northern enough for them to occur here. But I'll have to have a look at that. Okie dokie. Birds, you were fabulous. Thank you so much. It was nice to see them. Sorry, Impala, I didn't pay you too much attention. But let's head back to Kenya and to the Old Donyo camera. Aha! Sounds the guinea fowl, but we've got a giraffe and lots of different birds in its place. And still the same elephant is not left. Is drinking all of that water. Save some for everybody else. Oh, there's another giraffe. Even better. More and more and more. They just keep coming. They're multiplying. Hello, my side giraffe. Oh, April, I'll just quickly touching back on Tembe. You said that it was the heron that was chasing the storks. I must have missed it the first time it did that, but I did see it the second time. Oh, sorry, everybody. We're probably going to head to a different camera. There we go. Now this is more relevant. Sorry about that. The Old Donyo camera just froze for a second. So we're back at Tembe Elephant Park. But we'll see. I wonder what's ruffled the heron's feathers. Because, I mean, they're just sitting there minding their own business. You know, if they were quarreling at the water's edge for a pool of fish, then understandable. But anyways. Then Casper's third ghost, she said that the resident heron there seems to be the boss over the storks. Maybe that's it. Maybe he has a complex because he's much smaller than both species of storks, and just has to assert himself or herself over everybody else. Let them know who's boss. If it works, it works. But it's always relaxing here. I feel like when the animals come here, you know, they just take it slow. Look at the impala sitting down, just enjoying itself. I'm surprised there aren't any elephants splashing about, but even when they come and drink, when they finish, they stop to have a siesta under the big trees. It's a very peaceful, tranquil spot, this. I could probably sit here for hours and hours. Yeah, but the Old Donyo camera is back, so let's give that another go. Oh my goodness, silhouetted giraffe. Isn't that amazing? I would take all of the screenshots here. This is spectacular. I love the way that the camera is framed. It's beautiful. But that other giraffe just needs to go back a little bit. Fantastic. I hope you managed to get a screenshot. You can also see how early the sun sets in Kenya. Although the time doesn't change too much with them being so close to the equator. Not like in, for example, South Africa, where we see a dramatic change of light from summer to winter. And a very pregnant giraffe in the middle. Will we ever get a giraffe birth on this camera? Wouldn't that be unbelievable? Oh, again, great opportunities for screenshots. You can crop them when those giraffes throw their heads back and the oxpeckers go flying and they're all silhouetted. That is so great. That is a shot that I've still not managed to achieve. Are those vivid monkeys? Did anyone else hear something alarming, or was it just me? To be fair, I could also be hearing monkeys outside my house. I don't know why I thought I heard something in the distance. Maybe it was a bird or something. Oh, did you see that spray as well? That's what you want. Again, look at them. All the giraffe. Here we go. Here's your opportunity. Focus on the pregnant female. She's going to down the water and then toss her head back. I think that's the first time I've actually seen a fairly young giraffe at the waterhole too. I wonder why we don't see so many young giraffe around here. Wait, they need to drink too. But to be fair, I only watch short snippets. I don't spend the whole day in here, so that's easily why my research is skewed. Okay, come on, girl. Toss your head back. I hope everybody's ready. I don't know what the commands are to create a screenshot. Do I remember mine? Shall I also try? Oh, no, I didn't do it properly. Okay, don't be like me, be better. The famous words of Kirsten McLennan Smith Hendry. I'm having such a chuckle. Thank you so much, grumpy old man. You made my day. Just going back to Tembe Elephant Park and the heron that was chasing the yellow-billed storks around. You said that we can call the heron Donna. And I wish I was outside so my mom could hear it. I'm just visiting my parents. The reason why grumpy old man has suggested that is because my mother is called Bossy Donna because she lives up to her name. She could definitely be the heron. And then, Mindy, you said, wasn't there some bird playing with a stick a while ago? No, you're 100% right, but that was actually at the Victoria Falls camera where we were watching the stork playing with a stick, and apparently there's one that just plays with it all the time. Oh, not a yellow-billed, a marabou stork, sorry. This is also great. If we could just create a little bit of space on the giraffe on the right, that would have been amazing. My OCD is getting to me there. And then we've got the wattled starlings again. I don't know if those are females or they're just in non-breeding plumage. They might be females. Oi! And that bird's quickly getting out of the way. And so was the dove. That dove was not having any of it. Didn't want to be splashed with water. Catherine, you've said that the El Doño camera never disappoints and it's also your favorite. Oh my goodness. Absolutely. There's just always something happening here. I even like watching the butterflies during the day, but now that there's not so much grass anymore, we're going to see far fewer insects. Okay. Thank you, Giraffe. It was beautiful to see you. Now let's head back to the Nkoro camera in the Sabi Sand Game Reserve. Oh, this could be fun. We've got elephants, a whole breeding herd coming down to drink, and a lone hippopotamus braving it in this waterhole. It's not that big, it's not that deep. When swimming time comes, this hippo is not going to be in much luck. It might have to move away, but for now it's all right. And then look at the tiny little elephant in between the adults on the right. You see the little head and trunk poking out. Not doing a great job at drinking water. Well, at least you're trying. Well, all of it, shame. It just gets into the right position, slurps it up, and then as it brings the trunk back to its mouth, it loses all of the water. I hope that all of you have got like a stereo sound system and that this is full blast when I'm not speaking, because that won't be pleasant. And that you close your eyes and just imagine being in a game drive vehicle parked at this waterhole and just enjoying the moment. Oh, such an incredible sound. Never underestimate the power of sound, especially when you're on a safari. You always get so excited and you just want to watch everything. But if you come across a herd of elephants and they're feeding, or a group of buffalo, a big group of buffalo, it's always magnificent when you just close your eyes. And you can see a couple more young elephants popping out. Just a quick drink today, though. In this area around in Coral, there are quite a few drinking points. So from where this camera is now, obviously you can see where the sun is. That's west. So directly behind us is east. So a little bit further east, maybe about 400 meters, 500 meters at most. There's another small waterhole underneath a bunch of leadwood trees. And the elephants, quite often they start there, they have their first drink, and then a great area to mud wallow in as well. And then they come here and have a second drink. Akaru, you've said it's nice to see the pan full again. And you said that the old hippo must be very happy. I bet. I think everybody's always happy when the water levels are topped up to the brim. Oh gosh, that's a very young elephant. Not teeny tiny, and the reason why I'm saying this is I'm looking at the length of its trunk in proportion to the rest of its body. Its trunk is now extended almost to the ground. So that just goes to show how much it has grown, because if you Google a picture of a baby elephant, like a newborn elephant, you'll see how short the trunk is. It's almost half that size. And I reckon that was good building by Mother Nature, put together quite well, because it was all the way to the ground right in the beginning. They would most certainly step on it and fall over. But still a youngster. It's a bit difficult on the cameras to kind of age a young elephant. I'm just watching also what it's doing with its trunk. I know it seems a little bit wobbly on its feet, but that might be, they're not as sure-footed, especially when there's a bit of mud or a slight ledge. It's been quite dramatic, though. It's not that steep. I mean, it's still wanting to almost go right down and stick its mouth in the water and drink. So maybe it's under 3 months. I'd say somewhere around there. You can see the slightly older individual just nudging it along, constantly supporting it. Yeah, it's quite a tall little one, so maybe 3 months, maybe even a bit older than that, actually. I'm just looking at that young one now. Yeah, it's unfortunate for that hippopotamus that it's not able to spend time in the area that's, I suppose, better suited for a hippopotamus, where your entire body can be covered. It looks like we've just lost the Encore camera. We're back at Old Donyo now. We'll see if it comes back, and then we might go back over and have a look at that hippopotamus again. A good spot, though, I think. Barring the fact that the water doesn't cover its back, grazing is right there. And the zebras have arrived, and we've got a giraffe that's urinating. It's all happening. The guinea fowl are feeling braver. Oh, gosh, oxpecker, watch out. You're going to get a swat. You're going to have a little tussle here. Not anything too serious. I think the giraffe that is urinating is much smaller than the individual on the right, but practice makes perfect. You can see that the one on the right is into it a lot more than the other one is just like, no, I don't think so. Oh gosh, there we go. Another opportunity. Look at that. Giraffe, two-headed giraffe. That is awesome. See how he's so gentle, the way that he's swinging his head and just softly nudging the other individual. I think trying to coax him you know to participate, because right now it's a one-man sport. The necks also looks terrifyingly thin, don't you think? At this angle, they always have like these strange kinks in them too. I'm sure a giraffe would love to go to a chiropractor. Oh, and here comes a beautiful impala. Hello, big boy. Looking very sheepish though. Looks like he doesn't know where to go. Do I face the zebra? I think he'll be okay. I don't think the zebra is going to bother you too much. We also all know how vulnerable animals are when they come down to the water hole. So good for you, impala. And I'll just never get over the size of East African impala. Well, their body size, but their horn size and shape is just double that of a really big impala ram in southern Africa. Okay, there's a guinea fowl. There's also a starling. Oh, guinea fowl, come on. You're keeping us waiting here. I was just hoping they would come and just do guinea fowl things, which is normally quite entertaining. Okay, we're trying again for about the 5th time. It's just an impala. You can have a drink. You can see them just edging close, and all it takes is one, and then the rest will come flocking in. Bridget McKinney, I think your comment was aimed at the giraffe. Stop touching me. That's exactly what it looked like sibling rivalry. You know, when you draw the saliva strip down the inside of a car, you know, so no one's allowed to cross the line. It kind of looked like that. And then, grumpy old man, you said that the giraffe all look like they're wearing white socks. They do. Sometimes it's more prominent on certain individuals, but for the most part, that fetlock, that big round joint that you see on horses, on giraffe, I would just call it a fetlock, to be quite honest. It's normally much lighter in color. But even the inside of, you know, giraffes' legs and underneath their belly is also almost white, very light in color. See how the impala panics every time he hears the doves fly? He pops his head up just to make sure that they haven't seen something. Oh, except that time, obviously, because I've said it now. But he did it every time before. When last did any of you see a predator come past the Eldonio waterhole? Also, has anybody seen there was a hyena that was hanging around here for a long time? The one that had the massive wound on its, was it its jaw? I'm just trying to remember now. I think it was its jaw or its neck or somewhere around that area. Has anyone seen it? I mean, this must have been months ago, or even last year, in fact. Impala having a quick groom. Rather an impressive individual. They're just so muscular. You can see those big, powerful hind legs. This is another opportunity for a creative screenshot. Doves, are you going to drink or not? I love the technique of doves and how they drink in comparison to other birds. How they plunge their entire face straight into the water and do sort of a gulping technique rather than, there you go, you see, drop, 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 drink, 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 rather than taking a sip of water and tilting your head back every single time. seems like a much more effective way to drink water, well, large quantities of water. Oh no, Kirsten said that apparently lions attacked that hyena and it died. Oh, very sad, but that is nature. Oh, it's the guinea fowl causing havoc there. I thought something was going to come bursting out of the bushes, but no. Impala looks far too relaxed for that to happen. Nice, you can also see those metatarsal glands on the impala's hind legs, those black patches. There is no other antelope species that has that. It's just the impala. And they feel really weird. Obviously, naturally, your mind is curious. And when you find dead animals, although we say don't touch anything, we can't help ourselves, right? I have touched the metatarsal glands before. They're very soft, like almost like spongy, if you will. Some people say it smells like cheese. I've never smelled that. And I don't know if it was maybe because the animal was dead for quite a while. I couldn't actually smell anything from them. So maybe it needs to be slightly free. If I ever come across an impala that would let me smell its metatarsal glands, one that's alive, I'll let you know as to what I think it smells like. Well, that was rather a dismal display from the guinea fowl. I always hype them up quite a bit, just because of how comical they are in afternoons around water holes. And then, Mindy, you said, do all antelope species have scent glands on their legs or just some of them? So, like I was saying, the metatarsal glands are unique to impala. However, if you look at other antelope species, so if we bring in wildebeest, and we'll actually a whole bunch of them, a lot of them have got pedal glands. So basically, in between their hooves, they have a scent gland there too. And that's another way that they can kind of mark territory. Some will scrape the ground, or that scent is just released as they're walking. Other scent glands, we also see like on wildebeest or duiker or oribi or what's wrong with me now? There's a whole bunch of animals that will have, or like a klipspringer, will have the preorbital glands. So those are the ones that are just situated below the eyes. It's a very, very sort of thick substance. It looks like tar. It's not great. That doesn't smell very nice. I've smelled wildebeest preorbital gland secretion on a tree before. So there are quite a few different scent marks. Some have got some glands in between their sort of like horns, but it really just depends on the species. And there are all the birds having a drink. Beautiful starlings. Miss the superb and the Hildebrand starlings so much. There's the wattled starlings coming in on the right. We've got the ring-necked doves, and then a young helmeted guinea fowl on the right-hand side. Now you can see the difference. So this would have been a chick from last year that has survived, but it's about the same size as an adult, but still just needs to come into its adult plumage. But we'll probably have that in, I don't actually know, maybe a couple of months' time. You see how all the birds are sort of collecting together, drinking from the same spot. Hello. Off they go. And you can see, the facial skin is starting to turn blue, so it's kind of getting there now on the guinea fowl. I just get so excited when everything flies away so quickly, thinking, maybe something is going to come out. I can't wait for the day until I have a lion at this waterhole. I don't think I've ever seen one here myself while hosting any of the shows. I don't know what has frightened the guinea fowl so much. Look at them, they're so hesitant to come and drink. Anyways, I suppose being cautious is what will keep you alive. I don't know if I would survive for very long. out in the open because I would have rushed over to that waterhole. No, I'm just teasing. Crocodiles terrify me. But anyways, thank you very much, everybody, for joining another Africam show. Thank you for all your questions. I hope you enjoyed it. And I will see you on Thursday for the Wild Moments show. But until then, I hope you have a wonderful week.